Hey y'all, my name is Maggie Kimbrell. I'm a local realtor and mom of almost two, located right here in Birmingham, Alabama. If you are considering moving to the Birmingham, Alabama area, or maybe you're a local that is trying to decide if you want to upsize, downsize, move on to another city, this video is for you. We are going to be talking about the real pros and cons of living in Birmingham, Alabama, and what to expect if maybe you're not from around here and you know nothing about the area. Let me fill you in, and if you have any additional comments, put them below so we can help out anybody that's looking to move to the area. One of the biggest pros of living in Birmingham, Alabama is the cost of living, y'all. Compared to places like Nashville, Birmingham is great in terms of what you can get for the price of a home. So areas like Hoover, Trussville, Chelsea, you'll be surprised at how big of a house you can get with that price compared to other areas. Another huge pro of living in Birmingham is how family friendly it is. Everywhere you look, there's a park, there are splash pads, there are activities for you to get involved with your family, to have things for your kids to do, sports, activities, camps. I can go on, and I would love to connect you with these things if you're looking to move to Birmingham. But no matter where you land around Birmingham, there's going to be a place for you and your family to thrive, depending on what your vibe is and the atmosphere you're looking for. Pro number 3, everyone here is pretty friendly. I mean, yes, you have your bad apples, you have your grumpy people, but Birmingham and this Alabama Southern charm is a real thing. And I think once you come here and you go into grocery stores and you go into the restaurants, you will experience that for yourself. Most people here are pretty friendly. Now let's get into the cons, because I want to be honest with you. If you're coming to Birmingham, not everything is sunshine and roses. And I'm sure a lot of locals can agree with me in terms of things that, you just don't like in a city. Number 1, that is hard for me, especially being pregnant, is the heat and humidity here. Y'all, these summers are brutal. They can get super hot and the humidity just makes it 100 times worse. But like I said previously, we have splash pads, we have local lakes, we have the beach only 4 hours away. So those are pros, but the cons are the heat and humidity in the summer. And I will say, if you love winter wonderland, that kind of thing from up north, you're not going to get that here. We have one-off winters that are icy and snowy, but our winters are pretty mild. And for a lot of people, that's actually a pro. So just keep that in mind with the weather when you're moving to Birmingham. Another thing about Birmingham that could be considered a con for people is that it's not very walkable. Now there are areas that are, for an example, Homewood, Vestavia, Mountain Brook. There's some areas that you can kind of walk into different entertainment districts and that sort of thing. But for the most part in Birmingham, you are going to be having to drive. You are going to have a commute. What I will say is if you compare it to bigger cities like Nashville or Dallas, it's really not too bad in terms of your traffic. But it's just something to consider if you decide to move to the area. Let's talk about another con of Birmingham, and that is that there are limited direct flights into Birmingham. So if you are somebody that works and travels a lot for your job, just know that Birmingham doesn't connect to a lot of the major areas. You're gonna have a lot of connecting flights in between. But the good news is you're only about 2.5 hours away, depending on where you live in Birmingham, from Atlanta, where you do have a lot of those better flights available to you. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, let's go back to some pros now. So one other great thing about Birmingham is the growth. Now, a lot of locals will say, no, stay out of Birmingham. We don't want any more growth. But this is really good for the housing market. For one, it's also very good for the employment here. We have lots of hospitals. We have UAB, which is a huge teaching hospital. We just are seeing a lot of growth in the area with more jobs, more opportunities, things expanding. And this can be really good for, one, just the value of the area, and just for having more people, more diverse culture, more things to do, that sort of thing. Birmingham is growing, and I think it's growing in a really good way. Lastly, and I think this is the most important pro of Birmingham that I think a lot of locals can agree with me. There are so many different areas outside of Birmingham that make up the city that have such different atmospheres. So if you're looking for kind of a more slower way of living, country life, you want land, you want property, you can come to Chelsea, Wilsonville, Harpersville, those areas, or even more North Birmingham areas. And if you're looking for more hustle, bustle, city life, you can look at Trussville, downtown Birmingham. Even if you get into Homewood and Vestavia and Mountain Brook, those areas are more walkable, have that more quaint, charming feel to them. So there's so many different areas around that can fit what your family is looking for and what you're comfortable with, which is great with Birmingham because it's not just a one size fits all. There's all kinds of places to live and pros and cons to each of those places as well. And another thing that I think is really cool about this area is that you're so close to some major lakes. And I don't know if you have experience with the lake life, but we love it here in Birmingham. So Lake Martin is really close to us near Auburn University. We also have Smith Lake, Lay Lake. We are very close. There's some private lakes kind of sprinkled in if you really like boating and being on the lake and fishing and that sort of thing. But you're also super close to the beach. So Orange Beach Gulf Shores is literally, sorry, got tongue tied, 4.5 hours away from me. So I can leave in the morning, get there by noon, and it's just great. So you have access to those things, those little quick trips with your family that you may not have access to as quickly in other big cities. So with that being said, I have covered some cons and I have covered some pros. And I'm sure that people in the comments can tell us some more, what they think are pros, what they think are cons. It's so important before you move to an area to really look into these things and realize kind of what you're walking into. I highly recommend coming to Birmingham for a weekend. I would love to show you around. We can get some coffee, see the different areas, see what you're thinking, but just getting a feel for the area and doing research is super important before making a major move. If you are looking to make a relocation move to Birmingham, Alabama, maybe you already live in Birmingham, but you want to explore a different area of Birmingham, or maybe you're even an agent that is trying to figure out who can I refer my clients to in the Birmingham area that's knowledgeable of the market, I would love to be the person to help you. I'm passionate about what I do. I love advocating for families, individuals when it comes to buying or selling in this market. It's super important, and I just want to be a helper to anyone that needs it. So if you are interested, I'm going to leave my contact information below in the caption, and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, and I want to provide as much content as I can to help people that are looking to move to the Birmingham area, different neighborhoods in Birmingham. If there's anything you really want to know about, let me know and I will make a video about it. But I want this channel to be helpful and an overall resource for people looking to move to the area, looking to move in a different part of the area, whatever it may be. So that was long-winded. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.